Another defeat in the FA Cup away to Bradford City, so Spurs must hope to make progress in the league. They meet Nottingham Forest in the latest live TV game. Erik Thorstvedt makes his debut. Sadly, his blunder cost Spurs the match.
So Thorstvedt, 26 years old, played in Stavanger in Norway, then had a little spell in the West German First Division at Borussia Mönchengladbach, and arrived here from Gothenburg this week. Carr now playing it in for Parker. He's got him behind them, and the shot comes off the post, and Fennick puts it behind. It's a real torrid time in that goal for Erik Thorstvedt at the moment. Parker. Oh, a lovely ball. Chapman now, faced with the goalkeeper, and the Spurs defence wide open, and he's missed it! Walsh. Now Allen, a lovely touch from Stewart. Paul Allen. And Waddle! Now Stewart. Two great pieces of goalkeeping, and three by Steve Sutton. What fabulous keeping there. Webb playing it in. Chapman couldn't gather. And Brian Laws, a little flick on. And Parker, it's in there! Gary Parker for Nottingham Forest. Webb again. Now Nigel Clough. Long range shot! Through the keeper's arms! A terrible mistake by Thorstvedt, and it's 2-0. Well, that's a nightmare start for the Norwegian. Nigel Clough. A real howler. There's Carr on the far side. A delightful ball there by Parker for him. Now has he got a trick to beat Hirton? Oh, that time the keeper saved. Fennick again. He's turned there by Paul Allen. Walsh, will Allen go all the way? He's taken it too wide. Abbott trying to get in there. Kicked away there by Steve Hodge. Wilson. Walsh waiting in the middle. Waddle's in there! A thundering header there from Chris Waddle.
Next, a trip to Teesside to play Middlesbrough, followed by another live match and another defeat at Manchester United. The action from Ayresome first.
Gascoigne, and that's a rather sloppy ball played across the face of his own defenders, and it's Cooper who won it and scores a great goal for Middlesbrough, but a bad one from the Tottenham viewpoint. Waddle's corner, helped on by Howells. This is Stewart who beat the goalkeeper in the air. Stewart! Well, a goal either side of half-time from Paul Stewart. Tottenham lead 2-1. Can Spurs hang on here? Parkinson. Davenport trying to wriggle away through, and Ripley couldn't miss from there.
Strachan for Manchester United. Hughes again to Strachan. Can he get across in? McLeod! United ahead.
So just 1 point from 4 games, in fact 1 point in 1989. Spurs slipped back to 13th place. Paul Stewart picks up his 6th booking of the season at Old Trafford. He's certain to be suspended again. The next league games, they're home to Charlton and to Norwich, going so well. Then a visit to Southampton. The Charlton match launches a fine run of 7 games without defeat.
Waddle for once went down a blind alley that time, and there's a huge gap here between Bergson and Fennick that Paul Williams might exploit, and has done. Gascoigne. Stewart Look at the number of players Charlton have got back. Fenwick. Now that will be a Spurs free kick. Taken quickly by Mabbott. Stewart!
Naeem's got some space. Here he is. Oh, that's a glorious ball. And Gascoigne's onside. Must score, surely. Yes. Quality finishing from Paul Gascoigne. Up go the heads. Rosario's challenging. Dale Gordon, good stop. Putney. Gascoigne. Here's Waddle. Prepared to take Butterworth on. He's got the legs to beat him as well. Oh, and he squeezed one in at the near post. Chris Waddle.
And Tottenham looking to play their way out of trouble, not betraying their natural instincts, even on the soggiest pitch of the season. And Waddle stole the yard on Statham and scored in superb fashion. Danny wants. Shearer on the chase. Torsvedt's come. And that was a bad foul. The card is yellow. It could easily have been red. Waddle. They just don't know how to stop him. Still Waddle. How does he do it? Well, it was Osman who stretched a leg over which Waddle finally fell. It's Naeem placing the ball and taking the free kick quickly and perfectly. His first goal for Spurs, a superb free kick.
What a marvellous goal from Chris Waddle. Spurs 11th. But just look at that massive gap, 21 points between them and the leaders Arsenal. Now Spurs meet the men of the Midlands. Away trips to Derby, to Coventry and to Nottingham Forest, and first of all, another home win against the Villa.
Walsh, lovely turn. And Waddle's on his way. Twisting and turning. He's in! Oh, I say, Chris Waddle. Waddle again. Oh, he's unstoppable. 2-0 Tottenham.
Derby looking for a double here over Tottenham. Saunders got one of their 3 goals at White Hart Lane, and he's looking to score here at the baseball ground. He's done just that, leaving a stream of defenders in his wake. It's going to be Gascoigne. Oh, and he's beaten Shilton, who seemed to have it covered, but it got past him, and Shilton is furious. Gascoigne is delirious.
Phillips for Coventry, who are beginning to find 1 or 2 gaps. And there's another one for Smith. Torsvedt's come to meet him, and Gary Bannister will walk that in. Naeem. And here's Chris Waddle. Oh, and that's a lovely goal by Chris Waddle. 1-1.
Pearce just kept it in play. It rather bounced off Clough, but here's Hodge, and Parker is in the right place to score again, just as he was against Manchester United in the FA Cup on Saturday. Waddle. Advantage played, and Walsh drives it in. Sutton's lost it. And it's David Howells who's on hand to equalise. Waddle. And Tottenham showing no signs of settling for a point here against the side, remember, 18 games unbeaten. On goes Waddle, Walsh, and Samways! What a comeback!
What a good run. 4 wins out of 6, and that means Spurs in the top 8 for the first time this season. There's another win coming up on the tricky plastic surface at Luton, but that's after one of the great occasions of the season, the visit of Liverpool to White Hart Lane.
Forward by Fenwick, good ball to Stewart. Walsh in the middle in support. Oh, he's so strong, and then he goes down on the edge, and penalty is given this time. Stewart, so strong, crashed through the first challenge, the second one brought him down inside the penalty area. The linesman flagged, and referee Roger Milford instantly agreed. Inside the box, Atwood's tackle again. Terry Fenwick, who scored a few from the spot already this season, 5 in fact, has missed just one against Bruce Grobbelaar to give Spurs the lead. And he does so! What a start to the second half for Tottenham. Fenwick's penalty, Spurs 1, Liverpool 0. Our camera from inside the goal showing how sweetly that was struck by Terry Fenwick, sending Grobbelaar the wrong way. Fenwick on the score sheet in both games in the league against Liverpool this season then, but now he's really set the cat among the pigeons. That should make this one heck of a game, and here come Liverpool straight away with Whelan. Well, Allen had nowhere to go. Houghton challenged him, and he goes down, and it's another penalty. Astonishing. 2 penalties in the space of a minute. That's one for the record books. Allen's challenge on Houghton, and the referee again perfectly placed to decide. Penalty. So, John Aldridge has the chance immediately to level matters. What a sensational start to the second half this is. No pause for breath, but I'll bring Ray Clements in a moment. John Aldridge has scored 3 times from the spot in his 22 goals for Liverpool this season. None have been as important as this. It's 1 each. Aldridge. Well, we always felt this game would produce goals, but who could have dreamed they would both come from the penalty spot and be less than a minute apart. Spurs 1, Liverpool 1. Aldridge cancels out Fenwick's kick immediately. Howells for Spurs, it's 1-1. Barnes wins it back, now Whelan, Houghton. Aldridge in space here, and he's found him. Brilliant finish! Peter Beardsley hammers it into the net, and this time there can be no question. Beardsley went one way, Aldridge went the other. Beardsley was picked out, and the finish was spot on. Lovely through ball, and Beardsley just picked his spot. 2-1 to Liverpool.
Priest with the Luton corner, and Foster got free. That looked a foul throw to me. David Howells battling for this one and getting his reward. Mabbott hit the post. Walsh. Broken up by Fenwick. Gascoigne. He's got players right and left. Gascoigne doesn't need them. Can he finish it now? He can! A fantastic goal by Paul Gascoigne. And Chris Waddle gives it the stamp of approval.
Absolutely brilliant from Gazza. And now Spurs face 2 more struggling clubs, West Ham United and Sheffield Wednesday. It's the Hammers first.
Waddle. West Ham still defending stoutly, but they've lost Naeem here. Ward. McAvenny. Oh, it's a terrific free kick by Waddle, and Parks got a touch. Gale trying to hold up Stewart. Walsh taking over, and Phil Parks keeping West Ham alive here. Stewart. Parks has got to come. That's one of the most blatant penalties of the season. Parks on Stewart. Here goes Fenwick. It's got to be retaken. Same place, same result, and it stands this time. Well, there's nothing left to do for West Ham but to try and push on, and they've left Stewart. The flag has stayed down, and Phil Parks has had precious little protection on the day he celebrates 20 years in football.
Pearson jumping. That's come for Bennett. Oh dear. He knows he should have scored. Waddle again teasing Wednesday. He's found the byline and a good cross. Howells! Well, somehow Turner kept that out. Waddle. Houghton's cross. Howells again. Oh, a terrific stop.
No goals, but Spurs are 7th, and that's an excellent position when you remember the way they started the season. Spurs still with 4 games to go. The next 2 are impressive wins against Everton and away at Wimbledon.
Waddle's jumping. Here's Stewart. Oh, and he squeezed that in. And he enjoyed it too. Terry Fenwick for Tottenham. Walsh. Twisting first one way and the other, and Waddle's in. Another one for Tottenham's leading scorer. Wise then with the kick, plenty to aim at. Eric Young! Well, they've got one back.
The home match with Everton takes place a week after the Hillsborough tragedy. The club removed the fences before the game. The fans pay their tribute to Merseyside.
Tottenham do look much more secure playing this way. The sweeper was an inventive thought by an inventive manager here, Terry Venables, but the players somehow never felt fully in tune with it. Walsh looks to chip Southall. A brilliant goal. Coming in the 69th minute. And Paul Walsh beats a high-class goalkeeper with a wonderful shot. Stephen. Watson goes up, Sharp might have a shot here. Graham Sharp. Oh, and it's drilled in by Neil MacDonald. 1-1. 7 minutes left. Everton with numbers there, and eventually the ball broke for MacDonald, and a similar goal really to Paul Walsh's. Stewart. And it falls for Walsh. Can he get there before Southall? He has done. He scored again in the last minute. Stewart made it happen with the first shot. It couldn't have ricocheted better for Walsh. and he took it early and crisply this time.
Spurs take the points on a difficult day to concentrate on football, but now they're 5th. Millwall have had a fine first season in Division 1, but they catch Spurs in rampant mood.
Briley rather misjudging his jump, and the ball ran on to Waddle. Oh, and here's Walsh! A close-range header. Allen. For Walsh, who lets it run to Stewart, back for Allen. This is nice from Tottenham, and they get their reward, a goal for Paul Stewart. Stewart, Walsh, the two first-half scorers combining well to give Stewart his second. Well played by Gascoigne. This is Stewart. And now Naeem, and Samway stabs in number 4. There's really an exhibition feel about Tottenham's football now. And Paul Stewart is on a hat-trick. He's got it.
Spurs can look back with pride on championship form over the last third of the season. The last 14 games produced 31 points, and if you compare that to the first 23, 6 wins and only 26 points. It looks good for next season. Not even defeat in the last match at Queen's Park Rangers can take the shine off that optimism. Ironically, it's a former Spurs player, Mark Falco, who does the damage at Loftus Road, and only 5 minutes from the end of the season. So a very creditable 6th position for Tottenham. Out of 38 games, they finished with 15 victories, 9 of them in the last 14 games. They scored 60 goals, conceded 46, and you've seen them all. Chris Waddle was top scorer with 14. Paul Stewart began repaying that transfer fee. What a contribution he made. Terry Fenwick got 9 in all competitions, Paul Gascoigne 7, and Paul Walsh got 6. But it was Chris Waddle who was most impressive over the season, scoring top quality goals. The best from Chris Waddle came on a dreadful surface down at the Dell against Southampton.